This is the Run Pod Option. I'm Marty.
I'm Kyle.
I'm Jeff.
At Run Pod Option on Twitter. Email us, runpodoption@gmail.com. Let us know. Welcome back. And interact with us. We want to build a community here.
So much interaction.
Let's get started. We teased in our last show a discussion about Chase Young. And because Jeff has other plans tonight, he doesn't really care about this podcast, so we're going to do this really quick. Jeff, give us a too long didn't read on the Chase Young situation.
So last year, Chase Young borrowed money from somebody, might be an agent, might not be an agent, to send his girlfriend to the Rose Bowl, which is illegal. However, we just found out about it last week after Ohio State played Wisconsin and before they were playing a rough gauntlet of Maryland and Rutgers. So he was suspended indefinitely, and it's either going to be 4 games, and it sounds like it could be as low as 2.
I blame Todd Smith.
Who's Todd Smith?
Isn't that the dude that was fired by Ohio State?
What? Oh, the receivers coach? What's his name?
Yeah, I thought it was Todd Smith.
The guy that Tom Herman said, okay, hook him?
Yeah.
When he tried to out him for cheating on his wife?
Yeah. Wasn't it Todd Smith? Or it was like Todd Jones or something super generic.
It does feel like a Todd move, what he did.
Yes.
Full transparency, we went to record this last night, and we had some technical difficulties. So we had this discussion already, but I wanted to make the point that I made before. My biggest problem with this is, since he paid it back, what is the difference versus any other loan? And my most recent experience is refinancing my house and literally taking another loan to pay for my previous loan because of a lower interest rate. So I don't get the harm in flying out your girlfriend to the Rose Bowl, regardless of anything else, if it was paid back. I
get that, but the way it works is that if you accept money, it's blah blah blah. You know the whole deal. Accepting money through like a financial institution, I feel like that would be a different story. You know, it's like there's a paper trail. It's done through legal means. It seems like somebody's giving you money at that point to allow for your girlfriend to come out to the Rose Bowl, but it's seen as, you know, is people giving you money, which is against the NCAA, and that's a larger discussion about how dumb the NCAA is with that kind of a deal. But it is against the rules technically, which I hate saying.
Yep.
Cool. So Kyle is a cop. Jeff, did you want to add anything else before we move on?
Even though I hate saying it, like, it's against the rule. I hate you.
No, I get your point. So what do you think is the worst offense? The situation with Chase Young or the tattoo gate of getting free tattoos in exchange for your autograph? Wasn't that what Jeff, do I have that right?
Yeah. Tattoo for memorabilia and autographs. You got it.
Okay.
I think that both are dumb. Honestly.
As in both shouldn't be a punishment?
Exactly.
Okay, I think we can all agree there.
Yeah.
I guess that if I was going to say worse out of the two, it's the tattoo is because somebody's profiting off of it. But at the same time, it's not even the athlete that's profiting at that point. It's a free tattoo. Yeah,
it's a free tattoo, and the jabroni that gave it to him gets to go sell a signed Pryor helmet for, $800 on eBay. Yeah. God, if he got $800, I guess that in hindsight, he probably could have gotten $800 at the time, but I think that's devalued a little bit.
Not to mention, you're going to have to live with the fact that you got a stupid tattoo. It's probably a dumb tattoo.
Do we know what the tattoo was?
It's probably a dumb tattoo.
The Michigan M upside down.
Probably.
Because that's all they were
W
doing against
ever.
Michigan was getting W's.
Someone peeing on it or something.
the car decal with
Calvin.
Calvin peeing on the Michigan logo.
And there's a pair of truck nuts hanging off of the upside down W.
I wouldn't be surprised.
We teased another thing we were going to try out, which was we were going to each kind of release our own playoff ranking. Well, because of the technical difficulties, it's actually kind of a better situation because we are recording on Tuesday evening and the college football playoff ranking has released for us. So instead, we're going to kind of talk about this and then we're going to get right into the picks.
Can we call this podcast the Run Pod Difficulties?
You know what? It feels like it. It's again, I think I begged for forgiveness in the episode we really had messed up. But I do want to emphasize, we all are recording remotely from one another, and we are doing our best because everybody has a limitation in some form or fashion.
I'm really short. I'm limited with a lot of things.
Yeah, Kyle's arms are limited to the point that he has to climb ladders in an extremely condensed, like never really reaching.
I have to climb ladders to get to my cabinets in my kitchen.
So who climbed the ladder into number 4 when Penn State lost? Let's go over it. I'm going to start at number 8. We have Penn State. No, we don't.
How?
I'm an idiot. Yep, I'm an idiot. I'm sorry. Number 8 is Minnesota.
Hey.
Number 7
sense.
is Utah.
Hey.
Number 6 is
Travesty.
Oregon. Number 5 is Alabama. Number 4 is Georgia. Number 3, Clemson. 2, Ohio State. 1, LSU.
So full transparency. I don't think any of us had Georgia in our top 8.
No, because I think we all
that South
disrespect
Carolina loss.
Georgia.
I had them 8th, but yeah.
And we discussed this, so we're going to discuss it again here. My problem with Georgia was not only was their loss a weak one, but it wasn't like Kansas State's win over Oklahoma, where Kansas State played the game of their lives and upset them, and Oklahoma still played well. It wasn't that. South Carolina didn't just up and beat them and have an incredible game. Both teams looked awful, and Georgia kept losing the game. Every chance they had, it was just like, cool, I'm going to cut my finger off, and now I'm going to switch the blade to the 4-fingered hand now and try to do it to the other hand. And it felt like that the last fourth quarter with Kirby Smart making decisions.
Well, here's my other thing. It just feels like next SEC team up.
Yeah.
And I think Alabama deserves a 4 spot before they do.
Yeah, probably.
And
Yeah,
we're going
okay.
through the BCS situation now where the most recent loss is the hardest.
Yep.
I just don't think there's enough love being given to A, Minnesota, B, Utah, C, Oregon, and Oklahoma, because I feel like they should be in the top 8 at this point. I know that they lost to Kansas State, but Georgia lost to South Carolina.
I agree on your Oklahoma point. The only stretch for me is Georgia beat Florida, and I don't know who the second best win is. I guess it could be Texas for Oklahoma, but as it stands in the playoff rankings, Florida 11, Notre Dame 16, both Georgia wins, and Oklahoma is at 10th. They've beaten Texas, number 19, and they lost to number 24 Kansas State. You'd think the loss being ranked even would benefit it. It is kind of startling.
South Carolina just got their ass handed to them by Appalachian State.
Also, SMU dropped out of the top 25, so that's cool. Just realizing that as we're looking at this live.
Yeah, they threw App State back in.
Power down by Marty at this point.
Yep, I'm gonna go. Yeah, let's hang this up.
I'm ahead out.
I am interested that Cincinnati, who has played in a tougher conference than Clemson to this point, and whose only loss was a thumping from Ohio State, is all the way down at 17. So they're behind Wisconsin. They're behind Notre Dame. That doesn't play for me.
That's perennial power right there.
Yeah, it's upsetting.
It's name recognition, man.
Any final
Welcome to the college playoff
Yeah.
rankings. Name recognition. It goes a long
Truly,
way.
and honestly, since we usually record on Monday, I'm glad we don't get to see this stuff live very often, because why are we even releasing them? We got 6 weeks.
Yeah.
We have plenty of time. And the most...
It just makes us bitter.
Yeah, it's there to upset. I mean, I guess it's there for the press, right? For people like us who are not the press.
Are we press?
Our guest Will said he could maybe get us in at UNC Charlotte, and You do have ties. We might be able to flex the whole press thing.
We probably could.
I've been trying to find a way for us to get verified on Twitter, and it's not really working out. So we have 12 games, and we have 15 minutes before Jeff has to go. So we're going to burn through these picks, okay?
All right, let's do it.
All righty.
Lightning round.
We have Stanford at Washington State. Washington State are 10-point favorites.
Ooh.
I've got Stanford to cover because Washington State looks just lost right now.
I'm going to go with that, too. I'll go with Stanford to cover. I've been burned by Washington State a ton of times. You give me Stanford at this point.
I'm with you. This is tough because Stanford is bad, but Washington State it's just hard to get a read on them. I think it'll be closer than 10.
Washington State has lost their last 4 games that their quarterback threw for 400-plus yards.
Jeez.
UCLA at Utah. Utah are 21-point favorites, and this is a hot Chip Kelly offense. What do you guys think?
Oh, I'm drinking that Utah juice a lot right now.
That Mormon juice.
Yeah. Utah juice. Give me UCLA to cover, though. That's a lot. I don't think that Utah's offense is going to be potent enough to get a 21-point win.
I'm wondering if Huntley is truly healthy. If Huntley's healthy, I think there is a chance that Utah can beat them by 21, but I'm also going to get UCLA to cover.
Fellas, the last 2 times these teams have played, Utah has won by exactly 31 points, so I will take Utah.
That's research.
31 points each time?
Yeah.
That's wild. We've got Michigan State at Michigan. Michigan are 14.5-point favorites. Give me Michigan.
Yes.
Well, Michigan State is coming off a really, really impressive loss. So,
yeah.
Give me Michigan.
Michigan State lost 2 of their best players, and they're starting 3 freshmen on their offensive line, so it's going to be rough.
And they didn't pull Brian Lewerke because they didn't give him the concussion protocol.
Classic trap game.
So you've got Michigan, right? Clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Jeff?
Yep.
Tulane at Temple. Tulane are 3.5-point favorites on the road, and I'm actually quite excited for this game.
The AAC has been real, real fun.
I think it's going to be cold as hell, so I'm going to pick Temple.
Give me Temple to cover.
This is tough because Temple's defense is stingy. Offense is eh.
And even in the cold, though, man. I mean, that's the thing.
Yeah. Damn. Give me Temple.
We have Texas at Iowa State. The Cyclones are 6-point favorites. A loss by Texas would all but cement Baylor and OU atop at the Big 12 for probably 2 games.
Iowa State's a better team. Give me Iowa State.
Kansas State started 14 points ahead of Texas. They didn't start. They got up 14-0, and then Texas absolutely shut them down. And I don't know if this is a sign of progress for Texas, but I'm going to get Texas to cover and Iowa State to still win.
I'm going to take Texas, too, just based on, I think they've beaten Iowa State the last couple of years, kind of close games. So
cool. We actually have a big one that I won't watch, but Navy at Notre Dame. Notre Dame are 10-point favorites. Navy's really good this year, and that's who I'm taking.
Yeah, I know they're good, but it just seems like a game that Notre Dame kind of like wins by 13, and people are like, oh, they're pretty good. Let's talk about Notre Dame again.
Well, yeah, you see they moved up again. I'm going to take Navy. Notre Dame's rush defense is not good.
Oh, yeah. Didn't Michigan torch them on the ground?
Yeah, I think it was almost 400 yards rushing.
That's got nothing on Boston College against Syracuse.
Oh, my God. This really doesn't. The statistics prove
Hey,
that.
a man lost his job over that game, okay? We're not going to...
I'm all right with it.
We have the Wake Forest Demon Deacons at Clemson. Please forget anything I said last episode, or last week's episodes about Wake Forest having a chance here. 30.5 points, though, is a lot. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take Wake Forest to cover.
I'm going to take Clemson, and I want to give a shout-out to Foltzy, who made some picks earlier in the season. He nailed the spread on this game at 45 last week. So I'm going to say Clemson does this.
Do you guys think Clemson is in like scorched earth mode now that they were dropped out of the original playoffs? I think they're just gonna go nuts every week, and so I'll take Clemson.
Excellent. And plus, think about how much depth Clemson is building by starting their third string in the third quarter. There's so much playing time happening. So many snaps to go around. We've got a big one in Georgia going to Auburn. Georgia are 2.5-point favorites.
Yeah, I'm going to say that Georgia covers that. I know it's down there in Auburn. Doesn't matter. I think Georgia's a better team. It's going to be a grind out, just ugly ass game.
I think we're going to see how bad Bo Nix can be, and I've got Georgia to cover as well.
He's been pretty bad this year, so yeah, I'm with you guys. I think it's going to be I'm taking Georgia to win like 13-6 or something.
We've got a big game. Minnesota at Iowa. Iowa are 3-point favorites, and we're just a 2-point conversion away from tying it with Wisconsin at the end of their game last week. I don't know how Iowa are favorites here.
Yeah, I think Minnesota's got too much juice right now. Give me Minnesota. I mean, I guess you could say letdown game after the Penn State, but yeah, give me Minnesota still. PJ Fleck's got that team firing on all cylinders.
I think they're just basing it off of basically every year an undefeated team comes into Kinnick and gets destroyed. Like Michigan did it 3 years ago, Ohio State, Penn State. I think they're thinking it's this one, but I think Minnesota. I'll take Minnesota here. Iowa can't score.
I'm going to sit on Iowa. Yeah, it seems like Iowa's best options offensively are when they're down by 14 and the game's already out of reach.
Yeah.
And then they seem to finally put some stuff together. And
then they figure out that they have 8 tight ends.
And we've got game day. Oklahoma goes to Baylor. And Oklahoma are 9-point favorites. Let me tell you a little bit about this Baylor team. They are scrappy, and I'm not so sure it's in a good way. It's kind of like someone who...
Are Bryles bad way?
No. I think it's weird because the best analogy I can think is they're not accidentally stepping into potholes and then twisting their ankle and then recovering. It's almost like they're intentionally stepping in potholes to twist their ankle and see how they can manage to recover.
Well, they're just getting ready for the stretch run at the end of the season, trying to figure it out.
I don't think Charlie Brewer looked right last week, and I don't think he's 100%. So I'm going to actually pick Oklahoma to cover.
I'm going to say no, and I'm going to say Oklahoma's defense didn't look that right last week either. Give me Baylor to cover.
Yeah, I'll take Baylor too. I loved your analogy, Marty, despite how strange it was.
That's kind of my whole bit. So there were 2 more games that you guys weren't aware of we were going to pick that I've got to surprise us. So let's go ahead and start with Indiana at Penn State. Penn State are 14-point favorites. Indiana, as we mentioned before, out is Michael Penix Jr. Did I say that right?
I think you did.
And Penn State is reeling from their first loss of the season. Do they respond?
I think that Indiana Penix is going to be more flaccid than we think. And Penn State's going to get the win, going to cover.
Yeah, I'm with Kyle. They bounce back. They win by like 17.
Unfortunately, I think Penn State, this is going to be the week that we thought last week was going to be. I think they're going to end up pouring it on, especially now that they know they have to win out to really have a chance. Plus, it's their warm-up before Ohio State, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a revenge game.
The final game, Smart School versus Smart School. We have Syracuse at Duke.
Oh, why?
Duke are 10.5-point favorites.
Go first, Jeff.
I've got Duke covering, brother.
When's the last time these 2 schools have even played?
Duke got smoked by Notre Dame, but then somehow smoked Virginia Tech. They got smoked by Alabama at the beginning of the year. They're a very bipolar team, but Syracuse is so bad on their offensive line that it won't matter how much they struggle on offense or not, because Syracuse is only going to be able to do so much.
Duke's going to cover. Duke's going to win. They're going to cover just like my tears are going to cover my my hoodie, whatever the fuck I'm wearing.
Oh
at the
God,
time.
I thought that
doesn't
was going,
matter.
rated R for a second.
Yeah. Oh man.
No.
I live for that Jeff laugh. Jeff, who do you have covering? You have to get out here soon.
Has Duke lost 3 games in a row and they're 10-point favorites?
It tells you the state of the. You know what they didn't do? They didn't let 500 yards get ran on them on the ground.
And then have a walk-on go 8 for 10 for 195 yards, 3 touchdowns. So we just
not any walk-on, a walk-on at Boston College.
Yeah, somehow worse
dude.
than Anthony Brown.
I'll take Duke.
I'm so angry. I'm so mad right now.
Well,
I hate picking Duke. No, fuck it. I'm going Syracuse. Fuck everybody. So angry. You've turned me. Just defiant till the end.
we didn't cover it at the top here, but last week we didn't do so hot. Kyle and Corwin, our guest picker, they were both 6-6.
Nice.
And Jeff and I were 7-5, which was not much else. We really
Very
got
average.
burnt by Wake
That's
Forest.
better than
Virginia
most
Tech.
weeks for me.
We got burnt by Wisconsin. We got burnt by Penn State. I was an idiot and picked Arkansas to cover.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were sipping that Chad Morris juice.
All right, guys. I hope y'all have a fantastic week. Thanks again for tuning in. We want to give our condolences to Chad Morris. This is a bye from Marty.
No, I'm not happy. I'm not going to have a good week because we ended with Syracuse. So screw everybody. I'm not going to have a good week. Thanks. Bye.
If you want to watch a team comparable to Syracuse, Eastern Michigan is beating Akron 42-7 right now. So.
Akron is a very...
And Akron is 0-9. They have not won a game. So
Yeah, they got hammered by UMass, which is the state of the program right now, I think.
Syracuse always needs some action in their life, so that sounds about right. Oh.
Have a great week, everybody.
Have a great week 12, everybody.
Nope.
Hi, my name's Joshua Tracy.
And I am Corwin Heller.
And we are the hosts of a statistics and sports podcast called Juicing the Numbers.
We cover the NFL, college football, MLB, and the NHL with anything that we like to talk about in between.
If you like sports and the numbers behind it, come check out our show, Juicing the Numbers, on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, wherever you find podcasts. Hit us up on Twitter at JuicingPod.